Are you ready to take your organization's productivity to new heights? Do you want to gain a competitive edge in today's fast-paced business landscape? Look no further. Center for Public Service Productivity and Development, CeProd, is here to empower you and your team with the tools, knowledge, and support you need to drive success. As a corporate member of CeProd, you'll unlock a world of possibilities. Let's dive into the exciting benefits that await you. Gain access to CeProd's unmatched professionals who will provide you with valuable insights, strategies, and best practices to enhance your organization's productivity. Free monthly lecture series on industry trends to keep you one step ahead. Training and workshops from our comprehensive offerings to empower your workforce to perform at their best. Enjoy exclusive discounts on our range of services so as to maximize your investment and achieve exceptional results while saving on costs. 30% discount on in-plant training sessions customized to meet your organization's unique needs. Gain unlimited access to CeProd's comprehensive e-resource library, which covers research reports, case studies, publications, etc. to fuel your growth. Benchmarking and performance metrics services. Networking opportunities with like-minded professionals, industry leaders, and potential partners. Recognition and awards. Access to a suite of productivity tools, templates, and software to boost your efficiency. Join us at the upcoming Membership Certification Workshop, where you'll gain valuable insights and strategies to drive productivity within your organization. Choose to attend in person at Sheraton Lagos Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos, or join us online via Zoom. Unlock the power of productivity and propel your organization to new heights. Visit our website to learn more about becoming a corporate member of CeProd. Don't wait. Visit www.centerforproductivity.org/CProdMembershipWorkshop.php now and embark on a transformative journey towards enhanced productivity and success. CeProd is here to support you every step of the way. For more info, contact us via info@centerforproductivity.org +234 803 587 8800 +234 802 319 4131. Enroll now.
He has built a legacy of driving organizational transformational projects, leading high-performing teams, and cultivating long-term relationships with C-level executives across multiple industries. Dr. Obiseson's expertise extends across digital transformation, enterprise solution, financial technology, and strategic consulting. He has consistently demonstrated mastery in sales forecasting, pipeline management, and market expansion, achieving sustainable growth and profitability. He is also deeply committed to mentorship, talent development, and knowledge transfer across the next generation of leaders. Dr. Seyi Obiseson has spearheaded market entry strategies, overseeing multi-billion-dollar deals, and guided organizations through digital and operational transformation projects. His influence has shaped through digital and operational transformation. His influence has shaped not only the success of some Fortune 500 companies and global technology firms in Africa, but also inspired sustainable growth among local enterprises. He has been a mentor and coach to countless professionals, leaving a legacy of leadership excellence and business resilience. His professional experiences span across roles such as territory manager, Nigeria and Ghana for Hewlett-Packard, Oracle Corporation. Dr. Obiseson has also served as country manager, West Africa for Finastra, regional director, West Africa for Terminus, Territory Manager, Nigeria and Ghana for Microsoft Corporation, before becoming the CEO of Bright Trend Consulting Services. Dear colleagues, please welcome Dr. Sheye Obisesan.
Thank you for a very, very brilliant introduction. I clap for you too. Thank you very much. So my slide should go on now because I've shared it earlier, just in case I have some hiccups here. So if that can be shared, I will take over from here now. And Madam Maria Olufunke, the chairman of this occasion, I greet you and I say kudos to you again for that brilliant introduction. My head swells. To what size, I don't know. I would also like to greet and welcome to this webinar, the Governing Council led by Dr. Chris. And I would also like to say welcome to all the members of CeProd. Also, I took my discretion to also invite some people, and I would also like to just welcome them accordingly. To start with, there are many, and I don't know if they are on the call. Some have said that they will opt for Facebook channel. But if you are there, I would like to please welcome Professor Jega Mohammed, the former INEC chairman and the current chairman for Livestock Commission of Nigeria. If you are there, I would like to welcome the former Minister for Women Affairs, Madam Buju Kennedy. I would also like to welcome Professor Dr. Yudusa, who is the head of the SDG committee at the presidency. SDG stands for Universal
Sustainable Development Goal.
Yes, Social Development Goal, but I can't see my slide. That's why I'm wondering.
Sustainable Development Goal.
Sustainable Development Goal, yeah, as the presidency. I would also like to welcome Madam Jumoke Oshibanjo, who is the head of the Sustainable Development Goal at the Ogun State Government House. I would also like to welcome so many other people. I remember to welcome Ambassador Femi, who is one of Nigeria's foremost ambassador. I would like to also welcome some people that I have invited here and there. I could remember that some people from the University of Lagos, both student and lecturer, have agreed and accepted to be here. As I remember now, I would just like to welcome you, Professor Adewumi of the Postgraduate School. You're welcome. Professor Akilaye of the Department of Economics, I welcome you. Professor Dr. Shadare, Professor Professor Abbas Shiro. I would also like to welcome other people, Dr. Shoguro Hashim, Dr. Akintude, and many other ones. I would like to also welcome Professor Yusuf from the Lagos State University. I would also like to extend beyond that. If he's there, Dr. White, we welcome from LASU. If you're also there, sir, I would like to welcome the Registrar of University of Ghana, Legon Accra, who is away but has promised to try and join. I wouldn't know if you are there. If you are there, I would like to welcome Jeff, who is the Registrar of University of Cape Coast. I would like to welcome Dr. Abane and so many more. For those in South Africa, I don't know because of the time, so if you are there, welcome to this program. And for those in Dubai, I also say welcome. For those in UK, I don't know who is on the screen, who is watching, but please, instead of listening, I would just say welcome. And then to all my supporters in Nigeria, I say welcome. And I would like to thank CeProd for being always supportive of who I am today, promoting me and all that. If you recall, for those who are there, I had a lecture last year that talked about the role of directors in corporate governance in an organization. And I'd like to thank the governing body, governing council, who say, Shaye, you must come back. Sometimes I forget that I'm a doctor, but so I will try and, put that in place. So we will start on this topic, impact of leadership on organizational productivity and prosperity. If you take a look at this topic, there are some keywords there. The keywords are impact of leadership. So we are focusing on leadership. We are focusing on organizational. We are focusing on productivity. We are focusing on prosperity. So we have 4 elements to this topic, and we will try and look at them one after another. Let me also say this. I would like this lecture to be engaging, interactive. So you can stop me at any time because we still have questions at the end of the day. So the timing is still okay. We can wait I finish, or we can just take it as we go. However, if you feel so concerned about something and you would like to express or talk, please ask your question, just indicate, and you would be recognized. The chairman is the one directing this occasion. So when you raise up your hand, she will recognize you. And that's the rule here. So I will move forward on this now. I would like to go to the next slide. So let's look at it. What is leadership? Leadership can mean so many things to so many people, depending on your experience, or perhaps stretching it a little bit for that, depending on your field of experience. If you've experienced a leader before, and you experience another leader that is different, you might think that that is what leadership is all about. However, there are different types of leadership, and we can look at that later. But what is leadership? It's the ability to influence. If we look at this in details, motivate and enable others. Others could be stakeholders, could be board of directors, could be employees, could be shareholders, could be citizens in public service, and so on and so forth. It enables others to contribute towards organizational effectiveness and success. It involves setting directions, aligning people and motivating, inspiring them to achieve common goals. These people could also be, like I've mentioned, they could be stakeholders in an organization, in a government agency, it could be shareholder, it could be regulatory bodies, it could also be management team, and so on and so forth. So what do? They set clear goals and they communicate this to their stakeholders, motivating them to follow them so that they can go and achieve and take a shot at their vision with the hope that the future will be better and they will achieve their own common goal. Common goals are usually those goals that affect me and you, and if you achieve them, it will benefit all of us. And that's the concept of utilitarianism, which is doing good for the greatest number of people who are within your space. Also, leadership, influence, and motivate. We have discussed that. I have actually mentioned that they inspire, they motivate, they actually lift up people's that strong passion to actually achieve those common goals. And leadership take decisions. Do we agree with me that whatever decision leaders take, these leaders can actually impact on the current status of our realities, our experiences, can also impact the future, and they also develop people. If you see a leader that is suppressing somebody down, putting them down, that is not a very good leader. Leadership creates succession planning, that even when they are gone, they will have people who are ready to step in, and they will continue with that vision. Okay, I would like to go to the next slide, please. I can't control it from. So this is just my own emphasis. Leadership, not capital, is the ultimate determinant of organization destiny. I said not capital underlined because some people think that once you throw in resources, human, material, and all that you will achieve results. But we've seen organizations, we've seen people, leaders who throw in so much resources, but alas, the vision that they have did not come to pass. So let's now look at the cost of failure and the cost of prosperity. We have talked about it, that there are leaders and there are leaders. And if you have a leader that is not really looking at the future, is looking at the short run versus the long run, you will bound to have low morale and disengagement. If you have a leader that is selfish, you will go to have reduced operational efficiency. If you have a leader that does not appreciate ethics and corporate governance, we will have corruption and value leakage. We will have brain drain of top talent. I don't want to speak to this right now because it's something that we are all familiar with in Nigeria. You will have financial issues, losses here and there. What do we mean by that? The shares of the company may reduce, and the value of the currency of the country may reduce. We have experienced it over the past decade or so in Nigeria. And you have systemic organizational failure. Let's look at the other side. Let's do a flip and see. When you have prosperity dividend with a good leader, you have higher productivity, sustained profitability that can take the organization from one level to another or take the country from one level to another. You will have employee satisfaction and retention. They say that employees do not actually leave a company because of the company. They leave the company oftentimes because of their immediate bosses. And that's what we are trying to say. And they will have customer loyalty, and they will have resilient, sustainable growth and enduring competitive advantage over other companies or over other countries. Next slide, please. So let's quickly look at what is a leadership KPI, key performance indicative perspectives, employee performance. We have talked about that, increased employee performance, revenue growth. This is a major KPI for any leader whatsoever, whether in a private organizations, whether in a public service. You should be able to ensure that your leadership brings increased revenue growth, increased standard of living for the people that you are leading, higher profitability, customer satisfaction index, loyalty. If you're a leader, you say your vision very well, you will be able to actually build a followership of loyalty that will lead what you are doing. They will implement what you are doing. I just quickly want to drop this here. When we are talking about loyalty and support, I was 3 years ago, I was with the current deputy governor of Lagos State. And this is a public fact. We were in Dubai at Microsoft office. And after we were looking at building the smart city project for Lagos State. And after a while, we decided to have lunch. I had the privilege of sitting next to the deputy governor, this current deputy governor now. And I look at him and I said, sir, look around us. Look at Dubai. What happened? Why can't we try and implement something like this close to you? It's going to take a long while. And he look at me, look at me and smile as if I was naive. And I realized I was naive. What did he say? He said, I never forget that. If this man here, the leader, Sheikh Zahid said, this is where I'm going. I'm going towards left. 1 year, 2 years, I'm going towards B. Everybody, from the minister to the citizen, will support him. But if, for instance, we want to say, in Lagos State, this is what we want to do, because of this and all that people will query them. He gave an instance that part of the reason why we have so much traffic in Lagos is because we have little access roads. And I said, look at Dubai. I said, we wanted to create access roads. But people stood up to say, no, this is our ancestral home and all that and all that. So we will do what we can. He said, we are looking at waste management. We are looking at security. People will interpret what we are doing differently. So we need to manage our environment, and I learned a valuable lesson that day. So internal process cycle, organizational efficiency, learning and growth, learning and development, motivation and capability, increased capability for the leader and for those who are behind him, for everybody who is part of that team of leadership. I would like to move to the next slide, please. So this is all that I'm saying is captured here. A leader should think of the leadership triangle. You have a vision that you say to the people. This vision could sometimes be called envisioning and all that. And then you have the people that will drive your vision. And then you have the results. If a leader can have this and keep communicating constantly, is bound to have success. Next slide, please. So we have looked at leadership. Don't forget I said there are 4 elements here in this lecture. The second one is organization. So what is an organization and what are the types of organization? Organization are just could be a private businesses, could be public agencies, it could be NGO, and they play various roles, but all of them collectively play an impact on the environment that they have, and they also have a ripple effect on the society. Next slide, please. So the other concept is productivity, organizational productivity. So what is that? It is the ratio of output to input in an organization, measuring how effectively all the resources, human, financial, technology are converted into valuable products for manufacturing company, services for government and services organization, and then they will have successful outcome. I'm saying here that productivity equals to output, good services result, versus input, labor, capital, material, and time. And in business management, this can even be used to actually achieve short goals, short-run goals, immediate and near time, and long-term goals, which is referred to as long run. And we look at productivity indicators like revenue per employee that can be calculated. It is the best way that you can actually look at how effective is this employee or how effective is this branch. This is what banks use to close down some branches and open new ones. And this is why organizations will sack some or fire or just cancel the contract of some employees, and they will hire new ones at a higher cost. Then we look at time to market. How long can we actually quickly look at low-hanging fruits for our customers, for our employees, for the citizens of the country, time to market, speed delivery. Then we look at quality and the defect rate. What we are doing, does it have any fault? Can we be honest enough to admit that it has faults? And can we quickly try and fix that? And then we now determine employee output metric. And for instance, I know that every government, every president in there, including this current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, actually asks the ministers to give their performance reports where they will be assessed. And oftentimes, that is what will determine whether they will retain them or replace them. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have indicators of productivity here. And we have explained that really employee performance, labor efficiency, sales volume, and all that. And so we just move on from here. Next slide, please. Then we have organizational prosperity. That is the last one that we are looking at in this topic. What is organizational prosperity?
Yeah.
Is somebody trying to ask a question? Hello. Please. Okay, so we create profitability to encompass sustainable growth, value creation, to make impact in society, and long-term organization profitability, health, and resilience. The financial health would be preserved based on profitability, revenue growth, strong cash flow, healthy return on investment, and all that. Stakeholder value, we have actually discussed it, but we are looking at it from the angle of prosperity. How can we create value to the stakeholder? How can we create value to the citizens? How can we create value to our customers, to those that we are actually engaging? And so we also have to look at innovation and adaptability. What can we do differently that will make them to actually look at what we are doing and see the result? And then there will be impact. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, now we want to talk about CeProd lecture briefly because it's on this platform that I'm coming in here. This is one of the CeProd lecture series. We try and hold it every month, or as the case may be. We are giving you the assurance of this. Once you are ready to join us, just send us a chat, your full name, email, phone number, and all that. And then if you look at the last one, I think it's just what we want to look at here. So please be part of this. I also started from here. I was also an outsider, but now I'm an insider. So please be part of us, and we'll be happy that you're here. Please, next slide, please. Okay, so we want to look at the Global Prosperity Index. I'm sure you are looking at it and you are thinking, could this be correct? Yes, it is. I've done my research, and that is actually what we have found out, that in Europe, the overall prosperity is very high. Why? Strong governance in healthcare, education, innovation, and other social welfare. And we have countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, Finland, and so on. In Europe, we also have countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and other. Then in North America, very high, we have Canada and US, advanced technology, advanced economy. Then in Oceania, we have Australia, and then we have in Asia, I need to call this, we have Singapore, Japan, South Korea, United Arab Emirates. Let me just say a very quick comment about Dubai. I was on my way, I took Emirates airline, and I was on my way to New York, and where we have to pass, we were waiting to board, and then I saw this picture of Dubai. When you go to Dubai, you see it there at the airport. Dubai in 1972 or 6, I'm not too sure now, dry land, Sahara, desert, dust, nothing. And I did a quick calculation, 1972 to date, how many years is that? And Dubai is what it is today. People say that see Paris and die. When I was growing up, they say see Paris and die. I've been to Paris. I didn't die. I didn't even faint. But if you go to Dubai, you will know that, yes, leadership can make an impact. And when I now went to Abu Dhabi, I saw how leadership can create a platform, a baseline for development for the next 20, 30 years. And they are doing that. So there is something that Africa needs to look about. This is something that Nigeria needs to think about. And please, let's go to the next slide. I will also explain on this more. Okay, so we now look at Africa, the top 10. We have Mauritius. If you've been to Mauritius, you will understand what we are talking about. It is a country after South Africa, you will see take like about 4, 5, 6 hours to get there. But these people have developed themselves so much that they are the number one. Such as Botswana, of course, we heard about Botswana, South Africa is there. But the one that really caught my fancy is Rwanda. Rwanda became what it is today because there's a leader that came a few years ago, the current president, and decided to come up with this vision to transform leadership and transform the country to something else. Please, can you help me scroll down? And Rwanda today is a strong, I just want to scroll down because I am looking at top 10, and Nigeria is number 10 there. If you take a look at it. Okay, next. On this table, Nigeria is ranked number 10. We see in top 10, but we say that we have the greatest amount of GDP. But in terms of prosperity, Nigeria is number 10. I think there's room for growth for Nigeria, and our recommendation is that the government should actually adapt people-friendly policies, reforms, and decisions, and you will find Nigeria growing up. Next slide, please. So we just look at the prosperity ranking. Europe is number 1, 5-star. North America is 5-star. Number 2, Oceania is number 5-star. Asia 4. South America 5, and Africa is not in top 5, and we know why. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are saying that let's look at how productivity and prosperity actually fare. Productivity focuses on efficiency, prosperity focuses on long-term success. The difference between short run and the long run, like I mentioned. It measures output, what is the immediate result, but prosperity looks at how can you sustain that into the future. We look at short to middle term, I've mentioned that before, but prosperity look at long-term perspective. Productivity look at operational measure. Are we effective? Are we doing well? But prosperity look at strategic measure. I just talked about Dubai, UAE. I just talked about Rwanda, where the leadership took it from where they had to the next level, and they kept increasing, improving on where they had to where they are today. And then the last one I want to look at is internal focus. That's what productivity does, to look at where can we change, what can we change? Is it human resources? Is it employee? Is it machinery? Is it leadership and all that? But prosperity look at internal and external focuses. For instance, right now, do not let us deceive ourselves. Nigeria is hampered by external issues, like especially uh, 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 Nigeria to dollar exchange rate. It affects everything. It affects every little thing, even to the extent of pepper. If I've had people saying when they go to the market, they want to buy tomato, and then they said, what happened last week? The price has increased. And some of these market, when they say, don't you know that dollar has increased? And I can't really blame them because the value of the currency has reduced. I can't blame them because the cost of transportation has reduced. The cost of renting stalls, shops has increased, and then they still have to break even. So that's why we see that there is a comparison between productivity short run and prosperity long run. Next slide, please. So having looked at prosperity and productivity, why leadership matters. Leadership matters because they look at productivity to prosperity, and they will take directions that everybody should follow. I just talked about the deputy governor saying that in Dubai, the leadership shows the way and they follow. But in Nigeria, the culture also has an impact. So leaders need to shape those culture to benefit them, and the result will show. Next slide, please. Okay, so how does leadership impact productivity? We are looking at strategic direction, clear goals. We discussed that earlier, but this is just to bring in the little details more. Innovation and culture and break it down. Psychological safety, creative problem-solving efforts, process optimization, accountability, employee engagement in private organization and even in public service. The ministers, how are they engaging the employee of their ministry? How are they engaging the people, the public that they are dealing with? Are they motivating their teams? Are they delivering 21% productivity rate, which is just about 1/5 of what they should do? Are they developing talent? I talked about succession planning, skill workforce that can operate at higher capacity. Are they training people? Are they training the next generation of leaders? Are they communicating this very well? And are they allocating resources and budget for training for things that they need to do that can serve as strategic input into success? Next slide, please. So we are now looking at impact of leadership on prosperity, just extending what we have discussed earlier, and for us to understand it more. But I would like to focus on number 3, which is R&D output. If you see any great organization today, they spend a lot of money on R&D. From my experience, having worked with 5 global organizations, R&D is about 20% of the revenue for the year, and they spend the year in, year out. And you cannot deny that if you look at companies like Microsoft, like Google, like Amazon, R&D is key to them. If you even look at other ones in other continents, Saudi Aramco, R&D is key to them. They look at how can they improve the efficiency ratio of where they are right now. They do R&D and they build up a blueprint. They create a committee to look at it, implementation committee, governance committee, financial committee, just to make sure they provide everything that they can and things work out well. Next slide, please. So I look at this webinar as looking at global analysis, but I'm focusing on Nigeria. We've had fair share of leadership efficiency in Nigeria. And as you can see, Dangote is there, GT Bank is there, Access Bank is there, Access Holding. There are more. There are more. I'm only just focusing on this story, and we can engage on this during the question and answer session on this one, another one. But why is it? Because they are very strong. If you look at it, Dangote started with a small focus on some things, some products, cement, and then have sustained growth and revenue with capital, with support of everybody, including this Nigerian government and the past one. They went into petroleum, and today, if not for Dangote, a lot of people, maybe like me, and few of us will be parking their cars at home because perhaps maybe price per liter of petrol may be like 5,000 naira. And how many people can sustain that for 30 days? How many people will be ready to spend about 30%, 40%, 50% of their monthly income on buying petrol, not to talk of car maintenance and all that. So Dangote is a leader, and he has become the poster boy of Nigeria as an economy. And he has even grown from productivity to prosperity. He has gone to actually establish refineries in Ethiopia. I was surprised one day when Dangote went to Ethiopia, and the president of Ethiopia met him at the airport as he was stepping down from the plane. The president of Ethiopia was welcoming him. That is somebody who has provided value, productivity, and prosperity for Nigeria and for other countries. Let us look at GT Bank. This three picture that you are seeing there actually represents the people who have grown GT Bank. Let me also tell you how GT Bank actually started. GT Bank started because then Soludo was managing about 86 banks then in the year early 2000 or so. And the first MD was Fola Adeola, the first man by the left here. Then he died, unfortunately. But instead of collapsing, the next MD came in and he built what was there into the next level. In fact, I don't know if the CEO of GT Bank then that actually took the transformation of GT into an African thing is here. He is invited Mr. Dare Adeyeri, if you are there. Welcome. And then today, the last picture, Segun Agbaje is the one that took over, and GT Bank is what it is today. Access Holding, let's take a look at that. The first picture by the right is Ike. He was the founding MD of Access Holdings. And then when this policy came that after 10 years, you have to take an excuse, then Herbert Wigwe actually stepped up and took over. And that was when Access took over Intercontinental Bank, if we remember back in the day. And when they were doing this merger, I was fortunate to be in Oracle Corporation then, and then my senior vice president came in from Europe, from UK, and picked up the director for Middle East and Africa in Dubai. And they came and we had a meeting with him when they were trying to merge the banking system of Intercontinental Bank and Access Bank, who are on different platforms together. And we have this meeting with them. And then my director just asked, please, Mr. Wigo, you said people will work through Christmas. Have you informed them? He said, don't worry, we won't do that. I said, no, they need to know. Please let them know. And he said, and he gave an order that they should inform everybody that there should be a roster, that they will have to work through Christmas and New Year, that they will compensate them to make sure that by January, they are ready for business. And I said, wow. We look at ourselves in his office and say, yeah, that's the way they work. That's leadership. But unfortunately, the man died. And so they have a new MD now. And I also know that This man is a leader because of one particular experience that I had. I used to be part of their event list. So there was this African Financial Summit across Africa. People were from back in all over Africa, even in Europe and US, and they came and they were all gathered together. But I wanted to say hello to them. So I just walked up to them and I stood there by the side. And then they saw me, but they were engaged in talking. And then they were serving champagne. They were serving champagne to the VVIP, and I'm not a VVIP, but I was still standing there. Abba Vike spotted me out and was given a bottle of champagne. He saw me, smiled, and walked over to him and said, "You can have this." Since then, I've noticed him as a real leader who is cognizant of the business environment and what to do about it. Now, please, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Reform-minded leadership unlocks national value. In the public sector, we have two people that stands out. The current chairman of the World Trade Organization, WTO, Madam Ngozi, Dr. Prof. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She speaks for herself. She speaks for herself because she was appointed by the leadership of and membership of the World Trade Organization, and she's a Nigerian. The next person is Akiwumi Adesina. He speaks from himself. If you read his profile, you will know. And today, even though then one of the strongest leaders of the world didn't want him then to be re-elected, he was re-elected based on merit. So who says that leadership cannot unlock value to Nigeria, even beyond Nigeria, to Africa, and indeed the world over, based on consistency? So these challenges that we have currently at the moment in Nigeria, in Africa, and perhaps all over the world, but it's worse in some countries, it's worse in some continents than other is corruption, weak accountability, policy inconsistency. One government comes in today and reverses the policies of the previous governor or the previous president or the previous organization's strategy, 5-year strategy, 10-year strategy. You scrap it and start afresh. So the consequences are people do not have confidence in our economy. The ranking, the profile is very bad. The employment rate is very high. Then you have poor infrastructure. You can imagine the beautiful value, the strong impact that this Lagos-Calabar road will have on the economy in the next few years. I just saw 2 days ago that some people are campaigning in Abuja that it must be stopped. So which means that the amount of money that we spent on that will be a sunk cost. The people will not have the value for it. I remember when I used to travel on the road a lot, for me to travel from Lagos to Warri to Port Harcourt, it's a lot. So what happens then is that I will just suck it up and buy ticket, which was cheap then, but very expensive to buy. But this road has crashed out that productivity hours of about 8 hours, 12 hours, into maybe perhaps, I don't know when they finish, maybe 6 hours, thereabout. And we provide access to all the communities, all the state along the way. That's what, if that is crap, then it will be a shame, but that is what visioning does. When a leader says, "This is my vision, please follow me, these are the value, this is what happened," and that's why it behoves on leadership to actually make sure that they communicate their vision all the time. Next slide, please. So I don't want to be political, and I don't want to, if you take a look at what I put here, we just talk about it very briefly, the challenges of poor leadership, corruption, brain drain, bad governance, infrastructure deficit, and talent. We all know what the Nigeria context is talking about, but however, if a government does very good thing, we should commend them, because it's going to impact on how the citizens feel. I would like to just highlight some few things. We are all aware of this scandal that is going on currently, the PFIPC, where there is a presidential so-called agency that the government doesn't know about, is fake. I just saw yesterday too that the appointment of the DG was not legal because nobody gave him a letter of employment. There have been some scams and scandals here and there. Such things, I'm telling you, will impact on the ranking of our economy. The top economists do not want to deal with corrupt leadership. Rather, they will take their business elsewhere. I can tell you about this. Nigeria lost out in the scheme of things to Kenya because of the previous ranking of our government and their leadership and the economies over the past years, over the past decade or more. Nigeria has the largest population in Africa, and we should attract all the businesses. But when they send people in here to come and do a report and check every corruption index, corporate governance index, and all that, they found out that they are not sure whether their investment is safe, because one government can come here today and say, we go this way. The next government can come in there and say, no, I don't want to have anything to do with the previous government. There's no consistency of purpose, of vision, of strategy. So people gradually, blue chip companies gradually started moving to Kenya. And if you go to Ghana today, I was there not too long ago, you will see that the Ghanaian economy has improved. In fact, there are some companies that have moved from Nigeria that have moved their headquarters from Lagos to Accra. And when I went there the last time, I saw that things have improved, things have changed. This is what, and we cannot decide for them. It's their investment, it's their money, it's their decision. But I think with gradual strategies based on reforms and all that, I think this will improve. And insecurity is actually a big issue for us in Nigeria. In fact, it's not across West Africa. But I will tell you a story, and I was delighted when I heard that. These same Fulani herders that have been troubling us, that have been disturbing farmers, that has been making food to be in short supply, that have driven people into IDP camps. Last year or 2 years ago, I'm not sure now, I watched a video where there are Fulani herders in the bush in north of Ghana, and they wanted to start what they are doing in Nigeria, in Ghana. The high GP of police and the regional army commander went there and started killing those cows. The one they didn't kill, they brought them and said, this is for the government. And said, what they, I watched it on video, that what they think that they are doing in Nigeria, they cannot try it here. And I think reasonably, Ghana has been immune from all these things so far. There may be a few skirmishes here and there, but they are in control of their territory. Is Nigeria in control of our territory? Thank you very much. Next slide, please. So move on again, please. Next slide, please. Let me quickly take a break from my lecture to just talk of the role of CeProd in your productivity. And I'm saying, as you can see, that it became a legal entity about 18 years ago, and it is Center for Public Sector Productivity and Development. It's registered as a non-governmental and non-profit organization, a world-class productivity center in Africa. And the productivity to all sectors in Africa economy calls for concerted effort and measures to reverse the declining trends in the productivity of third world countries. In fact, this is part of the efforts to actually educate the people, to also propound recommendations and theories why that recommendation is correct and should be followed, so that there will be increased productivity and we will reverse the declining trend of productivity in third world countries. In fact, I've just recently been educated, and I know really that gone are those days that we say first countries, second country, third world economy. Today, we have the developed economies. You know who they are, the US, Canada, Europe, and all that. Then we have the developing countries like Nigeria. And then we also have those in between like China, Singapore. And this is for real because if you remember, Indonesia, for example, a few years ago came to Nigeria to take the fruits of palm oil from Nigeria. I'm not sure whether it's from the south and southeast or southeast, but that is irrelevant. And they took those fruits, palm tree, they went to their country, make it a vision, a decision, and they plant en masse. Today, Indonesia is the #1 leading producer of palm oil, which Nigeria used to be. And we are struggling now to import. We are struggling to make it available in the market. Singapore, how did they develop? Many of you know the story of Singapore more than me. So please, let's go. Next slide, please. So we have talked about declining productivity in Africa's national economy, especially in the public sector, which has led to a decline in quality of life. And we have seen the huge budgetary allocation in most African countries that actually amounts to nothing at the end of the day. They keep pumping money into government, but the results are not shown. And then that means that there's a discrepancies and there's a problem here. Therefore, we have undeveloped economy. We have weak manufacturing plants. And in Nigeria, they are all closing down. All the textile manufacturing company that we know when we were growing up have all gone down. The little ones that are left that are struggling with Forex. And therefore, we have Chinese people manufacturing Ankara for and bringing it down to Nigeria. I have seen Chinese Ankara. The day I saw it, I was shocked. That is printed. Good design. Ankara that does not wash. And so the Nigerian manufacturers are not competitive in their goods and services, and millions of public sector workforce are mostly underutilized. And that is funny to me. You will see an organization that if it's a private organization may not employ more than 200 people, but you will see them employ 1,000 people. The case in Osun State is a case in point. I was listening to this interview yesterday about them, that the state governor is trying to pay local government civil servants, and another party is also trying to pay them, who is in control. And then the state government has employed their own workers, they are paying them. The other party that are in government before had also employed their own, and they are paying them, and there's contention between them. I mean, in fact, somebody had to say, instead of paying this workforce 2 times or competing to pay with them, can you bring the money here? Let's use it for public related activities. Let's take them to charity organizations. Anyway, I know that there's some people behind charity here. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking of homeless babies and all that. And then make it productive, you know. Next slide, please. So we have talked about this, how we intend to actually improve productivity in ministry parastatals, in private sectors, to institutionalize productivity culture through study, research, and promote this. And we know that what we are doing is still a drop in the bucket, but we'll keep trying. Next slide, please. So membership benefits, if you are part of us, and I say, please be part of us, because there are gains here. We are here for networking. We are here for research. We are here for productivity. We are here for how we can impact our society. We are here for progress. We are here for organizations, both small, medium, corporate organization, multinationals, big corporation. And we're also here for public service. And members understand that increasing personal productivity raises living standard and enhances national productivity. What is national productivity? Gross domestic GDP, national income, gross national income, and all that. And then we also know that paying tax improves the national revenue of a company. And then we ask, what do we use the tax for? What are priorities for us? What is phase 1 priority? What is phase 2 priority, what is phase 3, what is nice to do, what is nice to have. All this we can break down for you. And we are here to actually advise government. We will continue to advise government, and I hope that they will listen to us. Next slide, please. So these are some of our governing member council. You can see that there's productivity rating all over them. If you look at the way they are standing, the posture, each tells a story. And please, they are saying, come back and be part of this. Next slide, please. So we have talked about membership benefits. We've talked about how we can improve real income, how we can improve ability to the purchasing power for goods and services, improve housing and education, especially education. Like this saying that if you educate a nation, what happens? Productivity follows. And I dare raise the case of China. China, we know that in the decades gone by, maybe 2 decades ago, if we come across China products, we say, this is China. We don't want, we want Europe. We want Korea. We want Japanese. Yeah, Toyota, Honda, yes. But today, China employed the group economy. They shut down everything. They improved their education. And today, they are competing with US. They went to US, bought all of their technology products and services, brought it back to China, tore it apart, and built their own version. Cheaper, lighter, more efficient, sometimes in some cases, sometimes it has errors, but they are improving. And like I was sharing sometime a few days ago, I saw the president of India launching train that works on solar. And like you all know, India is the biggest population in the world today. They have overthrown China, and they have train that runs on solar as part of India's strategic goals of decarbonization of the environment. Instead of using fossil fuel and all that, coals and all that, they are running train on solar. That is impressive. In my course of research recently, I came across in Europe, I think in Poland or so, I think Poland and Eastern Europe, because they don't have capacity for high amount of electricity. So a group of people actually came together and developed a solar system. And they installed this solar system on open field, like about 10 kilometers. And they install this solar in batches. But what's the difference about them? It's called solar PVK, or so we can find more about the solar PVK or solar PKV or so. This solar, when it's during the day, it is auto. It will face where there is the higher concentration of sunlight. It is movable, auto on its own. If there's sun from the west, it will move toward the west. If the sun moves toward the center, it will move toward the center. If it's going that it's moving toward the east, it will move toward the east, or vice versa, as the case may be. So that solar is charged 24/7. And so there is enough watts for people to use, and they store it in villages across these countries. And I said, wow, when can we do this in Nigeria? But the thing is, in CeProd, we are willing to engage government. We are willing to be invited to say, how can we help? We are consultants. We have businessmen here. We have finance people there. We have people in diverse places. We have people in government. We have people who are stakeholders in this public agency, in ministry, parastatal, and all. We all have pool of experience that we can deploy to anybody who deems it fit. To start with, I'm also a consultant, and you will see what I do as we go by. Next slide, please. So, when you become a member, based on your experience, based on capability, based on what who you are, what you are, we will do an assessment, we will train you, and then you can become an associate or member or fellowship. And we will provide this recognition that will give you and to provide a platform that will provide professional competence and performance standard. We also have monthly newsletter, and we have special reports, research reports to keep members informed about emerging issues in the profession locally and internationally. This is a very strong membership benefits, and I would like you to take advantage of it. And if you have challenges putting it together, just for you to take a decision, please reach out to me, reach out to CeProd. We have people who are ready to engage you there. Have I spoken well? Next slide, please. So we have an opportunity for self-development by having a productivity coaching plans to assist members to understand the drivers of productivity and every issue that you have. Let me repeat myself, every issue that you have, we can engage you and support you. Thank you. Next slide, please. So additional membership benefit listing in online CeProd membership directory, international networking among businesses, leaders, and professionals all over the world. All over the world, the case may be. Next slide, please. Please go back. Please go back. Go back. The last point there, I don't want to overlook it. I thought, let me overlook it, but no. Digital library. We all know that today, digital prosperity is a real key economic driver. We have a digital library that we can provide access for you if you need it. I am just 2 weeks ago or so, I am a member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'm also a member of the ICT committee of the group. And I'm also a member of the Business Ethics and Corporate Governance of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And we had an expo for 2 days, 48 hours, where we invited people from all over the world. What are we talking about? Digital prosperity. Because when you have a digital library, you have access to knowledge that will help you to grow your business, knowledge that will help you to grow your life, and you will have opportunities. You will know who is who to go and meet for help. And that's why I want everybody to know that CeProd has a digital library, even though we provide networking opportunities, we provide online CeProd membership director, and we provide newsletters. We have digital library that you can make you, and it's just like any other library, books that you see in the library, but in this instance, they are digital. So you can look at them at your own page. You don't have to drive and buy 1,500 naira per liter for your car to go to a library and to buy snacks to eat when you are hungry, to buy drinks to drink when you are thirsty. Sit in the comfort of your home with your data. You can access this library. Next slide, please. After this, we look at the benefits and what those who have been part of us have said about the training. Let's look at Barrister Mrs. Han at our FCP, who is a retired director of Federal Civil Service Commission, said that it has taught her to pay more attention to developing and training staff to create a conducive work environment. Next slide, please. Professor Balogun Oladele Abiodun FCP, professor in the Redeemer University, has this to say: that shaped my skills, broadened my horizon, and improved the level of my professional. And that reminds me, for the doctors from Redeemer University who are on the call, welcome. I did not forget you. And I don't know if the Director General of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry is also on the call. Dr. Chinyere Kalumini, I welcome you, man. I do not overlook you. I just remember now, pardon me. Next slide, please. So we have a productive awareness program, various ways, various channels, free open webinar like this one that we are having, free productivity courses, free skills acquisition for youths, members word of mouth campaign, publication in national and international newspapers. We've been doing that consistently. So please look out for our publications in national dailies. Okay, so CeProd, these are just some of them. The News Agency of Nigeria, Leadership Prices, then CeProd about International Quality Assurance Training Accreditation. Does that speak to you? Do I need to say more? Come, join us, and you'll be glad with it. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is just a footage from one of our publications, and you can see that we have people from all walks of life, from all sectors of the economy, from small, medium, large corporations, from government at the local government, state government, and central government. We even have ambassador on our midst. Ambassador Femi Abikoye, if you're on the call, please. I welcome you, sir. I welcome you. Thank you very much. So next slide, please. Okay, so these are one of the inductions that we have done. We are proud to say we welcome people of high caliber into our midst. That's the way I say it, pardon me. If you don't understand, I can explain. We welcome people of high caliber, people of mango, obeche tree, timber, and caliber. That is a Nigerianized version of high caliber people. Next slide, please. The membership program covered the following topics: CeProd Code of Ethical Conduct for Productivity, the role of CeProd in organizational productivity, how to improve your staff productivity, and everybody should be interested in this, how to improve your staff productivity. You may not be MD, you may not be a GM, but you may be a team lead. How do you improve your staff productivity? Please come and let's talk about it. Productive strategy for flexible working options. COVID has thrown into this, but we are riding that horse and we are making it better, because right now we have on-site, we have hybrid, and we have remote. When it started a few years ago, it's like, what will happen now? But it has actually helped us to grow. Setting realistic productive standards and target, setting milestones for achieving set goal. They say that what is opportunity? Opportunity is preparedness. That means chance. So, but if you have that opportunity you want to achieve and you don't set milestone, you have a vision, you have a strategy, you have brought it out, this is what I want to do, but you don't have a timeline set for it, then you are not ready. Because that's a critical element that you need to look at. Organization knowledge management. Everybody needs this. Public sector, private sector, small businesses, and all that. Next slide, please. We've talked about this membership program, the workshop that we will do, the training, we cover number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that as you are looking at, and we will be able to help you grow. If you still need more, we are willing to actually engage you more. Why is this important? Technology is important in growth. Winning business marketing is important. Managing cash flow and liquidity. Some buoyant organizations have liquidated because of managing cash flow issues. Best practices for personal productivity, development, building efficient and productive organization. How to negotiate a deal with difficult supplier. In fact, if I lock in on this negotiating a deal with difficult supplier, because it makes a difference between your organization having enough surplus or positive cash flow. Some people have difficult supplier. They just say, because of this and that, I need money too. I'm going to supply this to you, but I want my money back. How do you negotiate 30 days credit or perhaps even 60 days for large suppliers so that you can hold on to the cash you have and you can use it for some other thing and you'll be able to become much and more successful? Succession planning. We've seen a lot of small businesses that is very successful. Very successful. I don't want to mention name out of due respect, but the moment the owner, the chairman or the MD died, the business started going down because there's no succession planning. Sometimes the children come and they started fighting and the company goes down, liquidated permanently. Even among partnership, a group of friends, somebody die and the other say, no, this is how we do it. And then everybody walks away. And then they now become people who have contributed to making sure that partnership failed. And not only that, they will start afresh, forgetting that 1 can go 1 mile, 2 can go 2 miles, 5 can go 5 miles, 10 can go 10 miles and more. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are saying that even though we are welcoming you, but we want you to take notes of this program, of this very important program. We do not have honorable membership. CeProd is an international organization recognized. We have categories of membership. I talked about that before. No honorary membership. We hold lectures and interaction, online lectures, free books, regular membership interaction. I deliberately skip over number 6. I was hoping that somebody would say, 1,000 worth of books, what on productivity. 1,000 now is at exchange of 1,400. That's about 1.4 million. I wish I can have that again. With your permission, can I have that again, sir? Chairman and Dr. Chris. Regular membership interaction and cooperate with the university to run ABC, MSc, MBA, PhD. Attendance of monthly free lecture, like the one we are having now. Next slide, please. Next slide. So the next one of this membership workshop, you can plan ahead, is based as follows. Friday, September 18, next month. We are having this one in August. Next one is September, 10 a.m. And then you can set your profile. You can reach us on this phone number, WhatsApp, and all that. Next slide, please. Enquiries, please, you can snap this. Or you can reach out to me. You can reach out to the Governing Council, to the chairman, to the chairman of the Governing Council, chairman of this webinar, and we will respond to you. All right. So please, next slide, please. I would like to talk about this. This is important. We've talked about the fact that a leader will come, there will be progress. A leader will come, there will be declining rates of progress. The one will come, and this will improve things. Let's look at just 4. There are up to 10, but the one that works best: transformation leadership styles, inspires and motivates employees, motivates and build loyalty through consistent communication and simulation, and individualized consideration. Okay, tries to take control of all situations and engage everybody at their own level. Then we have the servant leadership. We once have a leader in this country who said, "I'm a servant leader." And this is what we are looking at. I'm ready to do what you want me to do that will benefit everybody in the country. The person is Alhaji Musa Yaradua. He came and said, "I'm going to be a servant leader." And that's why he started giving the Niger people free scholarship to go to any university of their choice, including in Ghana, in Europe, and the US. I met some of the students in Ghana, and they are being paid some amount. I don't want to disclose here. And they are doing well. I mean, these are boys at the creek that kidnap people and all that. And so servant leadership prioritizes needs, development, and well-being of people. Let's go to autocratic. We know what it is. That's why it's in red. It's deliberate. Autocratic means danger. And if you look around now in Europe, you have an idea of autocratic leaders. Some are in war already, and they take centralized decision-making with limited input of stakeholders. They can be effective in crisis, yes, but after crisis, they damage long-term engagement, because when they are putting on that garment, that kind of autocracy, they can take a decision. If it's a good decision, it works out. But if it's not, they damage things. And then the laissez-faire, minimal direction or oversight, can work with highly skilled teams, but often leads to confusion and low productivity. This is a good one to use, but it has its own limit. It has its own risk, because if you now delegate every decision, every authority to people who are highly skilled, what happens if there's corruption? What happens if they are hiding things? What happens if they do not have knowledge about something, but they are hiding it from you? And ego comes in. And so it's actually not the best, but which one is the best? Let's go on. Leadership style and their impact. Thank you. So next slide, please. Please. Have taken pains to a great extent to look at it and come up with this. The SWOT analysis of leadership. The strength is to provide vision, innovation, accountability, and motivation. But the weakness, a weak leader provides poor communication, embraces corruption, embracing micromanagement, and poor planning. Micromanagement, because they want to see everything that you are doing. I know of a company in Nigeria. We all know this company. We all know this thing I'm talking about. I understand that the chairman, when he gives you an assignment, he's also giving 2, 3 other things, the same assignment. He's also giving 2, 3 people to look over those that he has given this assignment to, and everybody reports to him. He must know what's going on. This is an example of micromanagement. Sometimes it can work out. I think I work out fairly well for this organization. Sometimes it leads to poor planning because you are micromanaging and then you cannot focus. Such organizations runs a risk of providing poor planning. Now, opportunities of a very strong leadership, technology, AI. We know today that between technology and AI, we can do so much. In fact, there are organizations that are just running on AI. There are some organizations that are just running on technology. If you look at the traditional banking, we now have digital banking now. The likes of OPay, MoneyPoint, PayPal, and all that. They run on technology to compete with banks. And we have also telecoms now run on technology and AI to provide the same services. And then it creates room for globalization. It creates room for youth talent. Youth talent in the sense that they have internships, they have mentorship programs. And so by the time these youths are getting ready to go into the workforce, they have a pool of workforce members that they can bring in, and they replace them over and over, and they have sustainability of their vision, or they protect their revenue, and the company becomes, continuous successes. And of course, there are threats to that. Economic downturn, no matter how good a leader you are, if there's a brain drain and you don't have skilled workforce, there is political instability. Political instability is caused by what? Political rivalry, heated political landscape, insecurity, as we are witnessing right now. A lot of the people in the IDP are skilled all over the north. They are moved southwest, they are moved southeast, and then you can no longer say that you can plan for 1 year in this country, you can plan for 2 years, maybe perhaps 3 years. But if you adopt a 5-year strategy, you must look at the risk. And insecurity is one of them. Political instability is one of them. Another one of these threats is high competition. But high competition can be addressed through strategic planning. And so the major one is brain drain, economic downturn, and political instability. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So this is my recommendation for positive impact of leadership on organizational productivity and prosperity. Leadership training. A leader is as good as he or she knows. And we know that the world is dynamic. What happened 3 months ago may not be the case today. There's something called old school thinking, old school leadership style. So there should be an intentional strategy to train leaders periodically, because it leads to better decision making. There should be ethical governance. At my last lecture here, I talked of the role of business ethics and corporate governance in among board members, their role, responsibility, and the impact. And of course, the compliance. If there's ethical governance, there will be increased trust. We look at employee empowerment. Without empowering your employee, they cannot give their best. So empowering employee leads to higher productivity. Strategic planning too, it leads to sustainable growth. If you plan on a continuous basis strategically and you plan for it, you set out the blueprint, the timeline, the goals, the risk, the SWOT analysis, the threats and all that, you will enjoy sustainable growth. Innovational support is because the way you do things today, 6 months ago, that should not be what you are doing. The way you are doing things today, in 6 months' time, that should not be the way you should be doing things. You should be innovative and you should provide support. Leadership should provide support for innovation. They should be happy so that they can have competitive advantage because everybody is struggling to be better. And it's good for everybody. It's good for the global world. Performance management leads to improved efficiency. If you ensure that there are deliberate steps that you are taking to actually sustain the performance of your team and your management, you will improve your efficiency. If you improve your efficiency, you will improve your productivity. And ultimately, you have prosperity in that space that you are leading. Next slide, please. Leadership efforts and prosperity is an extension of what we are talking about just in the last slide, but just providing it in details. For instance, if you don't develop your talent, if you don't have sustainable development, if you don't build trust, of course, that organization may run into problems, maybe not on the short run, but definitely on the long run. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so our recommendations is this. Both from myself as a consultant and from CeProd, invest in leadership development. Invest because the leadership holds the key to the future. The leadership holds the key to sustainability. They hold the key to productivity and prosperity. You should foster innovation and technology. You shall empower human capital. Some people have had some leadership say, and I don't really blame them. I actually understand, but it does not matter. That not that what happened, I have experienced this. I'm no longer interested in empowering my employees or human capital as the case may be. You will trade them, there's a deficiency, you will trade them, you will give them opportunity to grow. And when they know a year after they're out, I have to recruit somebody else. And then we will trade and they will go. There's a simple solution to this. Do 2-3 levels of layer of succession planning. If one person goes, that person will become an ambassador for your company. Instead of fighting that employee, don't go. For everybody you have trained, let it come back and train other people. That's the trainer approach. And then let them build 2-3 layers, the deputy, the assistant deputy, the assistant, so that when one person goes, that somebody is ready to fit in. Then build a team-based approach. And of course, some people say, okay, at least when we start your training, when we give you this opportunity, you decide a bond 2 years. It's a good thing, but most people don't like it. And when they leave that organization, they say bye-bye. Build your team to be ambassadors of your organization, of your leadership, wherever they go. And I benefited from this. I had a team that I was leading a few years ago, in fact, across different organizations. But we operate at that same level approach, but they come and give recommendation, we evaluate, and I have the final decision. When they go, everywhere they go, they will give me information that I know about the industry. And they will be the one that will recommend sometimes, say, this is happening here. And then we can still collaborate. Today's magic word is collaboration. So, recommendation is that promote ethical governance. Years ago, I was lucky to be in Nassau Rock for about 3 days when I was bidding for a World Bank project. And then that this unit then in the presidency due diligence, yes, due diligence. So I was there with My team from Germany, UK, India, South Africa, and all that, and Nigeria. So we did the first presentation. Then, what was it called now? I mean, short story, in 1 minute or so, I'm done. Then internet was not that very prominent. So I had to get a security clearance from the presidency for me to go and buy the things to build that network in the boardroom in Aso Rock, in the presidency. And then so I was going and coming. There's one man, I can't talk about Aso Rock, the campus how it be, but one of those security checkpoints, there's one man who was in, I don't know, maybe he's from the southeast or south. He was dressed like a traditional ruler. The man was, I know he was highly placed chief, but you can't bring your card there unless they clear you. So I went out, came back. He went out about a few hours later, came back. And then this man noticed that when I come back, they don't check me. But they did check me because I have a security clearance. And I have pity for the man inside sun, about 2 o'clock sun, very intense. I see the man read my mind. As I was coming the fourth time in the same day, he just stopped me. So I wrote down to listen to him. He said, my son, I've been standing here for so long. See, my what's it called now? My regalia. It's okay. I feel pity for myself. My son, please, can you take me inside your car? I know that they don't check you. So that when I get inside, you go your way, I'll go my way. And I was tempted, but I remember ethics, our corporate governor. And I said, I can't do that because for everybody that I put in my car, yes, you will go in. However, you've been here before. Why don't you call them and say you are waiting so that they'll give you clearance? Because say, I've been trying. Say, sir, sorry, I can't do it. That was the greatest decision I made in my life because it will change everything for me. So I was in the queue and I got to the checkpoint and the soldiers asked me to stop. I saw that I said, God save you today that you did not carry that man in regalia because we've been watching you. Because when I go and come, I will say hello to them. Blah. He said, if you have carried that man inside your car, he will have charged you for terrorism. I say, Say yes, because you will breach the security, he will charge you of breaching the security of Aso Rock. I said, I told him I can't carry him. He should take some. I said, you can do well done. If I don't have that principle of how to do things properly, if I'm charged for terrorism 3 years ago, sir, man, where will I be today? It's the same thing in a corporation. You will see that one person that wants to stand right is surrounded by a lot of people that are not right, and the leadership supports them. So the man goes and then corruption takes over, but it will eventually lead to problem in that organization. So leadership should actually adopt ethical governance. They should strengthen institutional framework, like I was saying, corporate governance and all that. In banking, we have our audit team, risk team, and all that. They play a role in ensuring credit committee, yes. They play a role in all those, in giving loans so that and then they look at bad loans. They look at loans that is to be issued, approved, that can turn into bad loan. They look at all this before they take any decision. And it has worked out well for them. Those that did not do that, today they are suffering the consequences by writing off these bad loans. The last one, adopt transformational leadership. That's the summary of all that we are saying. When you adopt all these things, engage stakeholders, board members, you engage your employees, you engage community leaders, CSR, corporate social responsibility. You are being a leader that transforms the sphere of life and you will achieve success on a sustained level. Next slide, please. So we have talked about this. Please, next slide, please. It's just a way of reminding you what we have said. So this is my conclusion, sirs and ma'am. Leadership is the single most critical determinant of organizational productivity and national prosperity. And those that are effective, they create environments where people thrive, where innovation flourishes and sustainable growth becomes achievable. The present government Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu may not be doing very, very well in some people's opinion. In some people's opinion, he is the best president we can have. Some people, they just say, yeah, he's trying his best, but he has challenges. However, he has done some things that I like. For instance, these soldiers that are facing Boko Haram, he has increased their salary. He has adopted some economic reforms that are yielding prosperity, that are yielding growth. He has taken some decisions here and there. I don't want to be his campaign manager. I don't want to be accused of that because this is a non-profit, non-political organization. But he has taken some goals. Can we recommend things for him to do that will make him to be better? Of course, there are challenges in the system. The Nigerian culture, the Nigerian political its map, the culture of our people. Like I mentioned, the Lagos Calabar interest. Some people are saying, are we going to eat asphalt? Are we going to eat stone? I saw this comment and I just shake my head because they are looking at the short run benefits. They are not looking at the long terms, the long run benefits, because that road shortens travel time, increasing productivity. That will opens up those community industries can begin to grow. People are not thinking of that along that way. Those villages that are in the rural area, but now there's an expressway, industries can begin to move in there. Manufacturing industry, cement industry, asphalt industries, and of course, all those other dependable industry, all those extended level of businesses that can come up from there. So for me, let us clap for good things. Let us point out those that are not so good, and let us appreciate those that are not good now, but they will be good in the future. So organizations and public servants should invest in missionary ethical leadership. They should be uniquely equipped to adapt, compete, and endure. Leadership quality directly correlates with organizational performance. We talk about it, the metrics are there. And therefore, transformational leadership yields the highest productivity gains. And I will stop there and say, so if you now ask me, because I anticipate that you may want to ask me, and I'm ready for the question, which form of leadership is the best? Transformational is good, but sometimes it's not possible all the time. And so, you will just have to take your priority and look at, do I want to be a transformation leader, but with elements of servant leadership, with elements of autocracy in some cases that concern security issues, and the buck stops at your table. Let's just make it last fair and let's make people happy. Let them take the decision and bring it to me for approval. No one side fits all. That's all I want to say there. Nigerian prosperity depends on ethical, visionary, and accountable leadership. Do we disagree with that? Investment in leadership development delivers measurable returns and growth. Do we disagree with that? Institutional strength must complement individual leadership excellence. And therefore, the growth and development of people is the highest calling of leadership, according to Harvey S. So next slide, please. And with these statements, I would like to say, look at this slide. If there are ways that this is my own organization, we have a stamp code, we are called Brightcrest Consulting, and we can help your business to succeed. We can actually come in to look at what is happening and help you to actually build a blueprint in different phases of what you want to do. Our collaboration with CeProd actually makes it much, much, much more productive, much, much more efficient, and much more developing the capability to build prosperity. With these things that I've mentioned, I hope I have not confused you, but I've informed you, I've created value, and therefore I say thank you so much. Pick the language that you understand there, and we speaking to you in your language. Me that's saying, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. So, Chairman, I'm
Thank you
done.
very much, Dr. Obiseshna. Sincerely, you have demonstrated that you are a mentor and a good knowledge transfer leader. We have actually learned a lot. And I can see that people are already sending in their emojis to show that they enjoyed the lecture. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma.
Please,
Thank you, Chairman.
it's a
Chairperson.
time for question and answer. Questions and answers. If you have any question for Doctor, kindly let us know. Doctor, sir,
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
mentioned something there in the chat box. That what will
Okay.
you advise if you develop a succession team to prevent the scattering of the team due to their collaboration when they decide to collaborate? Now, how will you advise the person that has developed the team?
I
So,
would like to have that question again. There's a key point that I'm looking for in that question.
okay. The person said, what will you advise if you develop a succession team to prevent the scattering of a succession team due to the collaborative achievements?
Okay. I got the keyword that I'm looking for. And I
Yes,
hope
sir.
I'm correct, that I heard you correctly, which is scattering. Is that correct?
It's scattering, yes.
Scattering. Okay.
Yes, to
I
prevent
got
them
that
from
now.
scattering of a team.
I was initially confused that did the person mention catering or catering as
No,
a
no, it was
but it
scattering
is scattering.
so
Okay.
that they will not scatter.
Yes, I know. I think I actually addressed that partly during my lecture. Yet it is possible that you build a collaborative team based on succession planning, and it is also possible for it to scatter. But I'm telling you, a team that is built on different layers will not scatter because there will be no need for all of them at the same time to find a place to go at the same time. Let me give an example now, and to the one asking the question. If you are a director of a unit or a division, as the case may be, for instance, you are the director general, and you have built a succession plan. You will have director of finance, director admin, director general services in public sector, and all that
Yes,
and all
we
that.
have different directors.
Directors. In education, you have inspector, like you have
We have,
quality
yes, we
assurance,
have local inspector of education.
local
We
inspection
have the
of
zonal
education,
director.
zonal
Then
director,
different
exactly,
layers.
layers. Now, madam, let me ask you, is it possible for all these different things, if you are part of the succession team, to live at the same time?
It is not possible.
N'est pas possible. That's French.
Mm.
C'est n'est pas possible. It's not possible because they all have different levels of experience. They all have different levels of capability. And if you build the succession team very well, they will not be on the same team so that they will not be competing. You can have director, you can have deputy director, you can have assistant deputy director, you can have assistant director, you can have assistant director. That's why I'm aware in the presidency or at state government, they have special assistant, senior special assistant, senior special assistant. They cannot live at the same time, but they will all be doing the same thing. There will be teamwork, there will be collaboration, and there will be different levels of experience. Again, it is also human nature. When you are down there below and somebody leaves, you'll be thinking that one day I also have the aspiration of getting to the top. So you will wait, and you will wait your time. You will bid your time. And if you know that, okay, you have something better elsewhere, let's say the deputy director goes, the assistant deputy director is there to take over, and then they will move, and then they will move, and then you replace the person that is leaving, and you start the chain all over. And that's why it's very good to collaborate. Let them know, and not that somebody working with that knowledge and experience, and the department will collapse, or the division or unit will collapse. It is wrong. There's also, sometimes you also have to build your team intentionally, because you have to look at the skill of the person. You have to look at the experience of the person. You have to look at the background of the person. You also have to look at the personality type. This is all important because when you build a team of people that have the tendency to clash based on their personality types, then you don't have a team. If you build a team that will, there's a word I'm looking for now, I just forgot, that will want to undermine you as a leader, then you don't have a team. And that's why leadership means that you will build loyalty among your team. I was at a company, international company, one time, and for the first time, we agreed to actually have a get-together for all the employees alone in Nigeria. But we also actually went to invite everybody in West Africa. We also agreed to invite people in South Africa. We also agreed to invite people in UK, US, and few countries. Lo and behold, I had to leave Nigeria for South Africa for a week. And the program will start on the day that I will be coming back to Nigeria. But I have a committee. We have made the plan, we have made the blueprint. And I know that my deputy is capable. I asked him to step in while I'm away. When we were at a Federal Palace Hotel for 2 days. It's a 2-day program. And then I gave a leadership talk from South Africa, opening that event. And from there on, while I was in the plane, my deputy chairman took over. We had over 100 people. Over 100 people. We had all the senior directors, VP of Europe, Middle East, Africa, and all that. But while I was in the plane, everything was going on. It doesn't matter that I'm not around. And then when I landed, straight from the airport, I went to Kota. When I landed, over 100 people were shouting because nothing was wrong. And the next day I took over. That is succession planning in practical terms. Succession planning in practical terms is if you have to go on leave, you know that your division will not collapse, your unit will not collapse, your department will not collapse. Some people, they don't want to go on vacation, man. Maybe there are some of you among our participants here, go on leave. That is why leadership should enforce that everybody should go on leave so that we give another person a chance to manage and see how it is. And I will give you an example. When President Buhari went to London, President VP Obishiba just stepped in. And there was some progress during that time. People were saying, this man is good, though, maybe he should contest. But we know that the rest is history. Okay, but that's just the thing. So to answer that question directly, I've given examples. Build a team that comprises of different personalities that can work together and they are on the same level. They have different specialized experience, skills, and all that. Specialized background, different backgrounds. So you have a 360 view of the capability of your team so that when one person goes, the other steps in. And then try to hunt. If you're a leader, you should constantly be recruiting. Not that you will recruit and give them employment, but they are your database. And that's why if you understand the football management system, they try to have a player that can play this role, that can play this role, that can play the role, so that when any of the three has an injury, they have a ready-made player that they can step in. It is those that does not plan well that will begin to run after scatter when somebody leaves. But if you plan very well, and you have a dashboard of your team, you have enough people to replace whoever leaves at any level. Thank you.
Doctor, we appreciate the way you have responded. Please, Prince John Kanwi, you have the floor. Let us hear your question.
No, I'm not really giving a question. I'm just only adding a comment to what Doctor has said. See, a lot of us have a fear of people leaving. It's an African mentality.
You're right, sir. Go on.
Oh, hello. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me go back to what I said before. It's a common fear of people, particularly leaders, to think that after building a team, they will scatter and go. It's a common fear. But the
Yes, you're
truth
correct,
is
sir.
that where we have a good system in place and there is trust, because a team is based on trust. The leadership, the leader, I mean, the team members being able to trust the leader. Trust that what we are doing is in the best interest of all. Trust that this man is not just trying to take advantage of us to make progress. So once there's a trust there, you discover that even when you are collaborating, I'm still going to give an example. You will find it easy to do. For them to scatter will be a little bit different because the intentions are understood. Common goals, results are all shared together. And another thing is that when there's an opportunity to progress, in a case where the leader of a team is always showcasing himself and does not acknowledge the effort, contribution of other team members, there's a tendency for it to scatter. So as a leader, it is very important as a team that we must understand and appreciate contribution of every team member all across the, how do I call it, the starter. And because if someone is sure of career progression, you are sure that when you remain in this place, when there's another opportunity, you climb in.
That's correct.
Sure, living may not be easy, but when you are sure that when there's another opportunity, they are bringing somebody from outside to do what you are qualified to do inside, then there's a fear of security.
Sure.
Which will also lead to people scattering. You see, and when there's a good, what they call transparent leadership, the leadership, and there's a clear communication among the group. Everybody understand what is going on, and when there's any result, we share it. And when any other extra thing comes out of it, it's shared equally. So there's an ownership. And in a team where there's an ownership of what is done, it's so difficult for them to scatter, even despite collaboration. And also, like I said, I belong to it. We have a project that has 3 people from different organizations collaborating, both within and outside. And you discover how we work together. And then we discover that every member of the team plays his role. That's why we collaborate. Nobody is willing to cross carpet. Yes, there are some members of the project that are outside in Germany, some are in Nigeria. But because of the way the team is managed, everybody is good to go. You are a lawyer. You keep working with the team. That's why if nobody is speaking, okay, let me just cross to take advantage of this and cross and leave a team. And because there is how do I call it? There is what they call, there's a system that it's not like SOP, that is a plug-in and play. So once there is a lay down things, the next person step in, knows what to do, and we are good to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Oluyemi Karun. You said it all, really. You have said it all. And the responsibility of this actually lies on the leader. Just like you have said, I once had a team leader, a department leader one time, who is very, very capable. But we are loyal to that leader because that leader is transparent, has a sense of fairness, and is actually leading the goal. Everything that we can do, that person can do. And not only that, he's not afraid of you growing. You talked about a team that has different people from different countries, and you are all working at the same time, seamless. It reminds me of this example that I had a few years ago when I was working under this leader. The person nominated me to be, if you understand the concept of SPO, single point of contact, SPOC, spoke. For this organization, nothing happens in that organization that has different lines of businesses with this customer that I must not know. In fact, I should be the one to give the go ahead. Now, what happened? And with that, the person is building my leadership skill. He's not afraid of me coming to take the job, but the person knows that I am very loyal and that if anything happens to that person, that person has people that can step in. If that person goes on leave, has people that can step in. without it showing that without this person, nothing can happen. And because of that, I was managing a company here that has subsidiaries in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Kenya, South Africa, I think one country again in Nigeria, in East Africa, I'm not sure now, then South Africa, in UK, in London, and in New York, in US. And these are employees of the company who are doing their own thing. But the moment this team was formed and was made the single point of contact, and I'm the team lead, and all of them report to me. They have their own manager, but they have a line reporting line to me. And we have our meetings. I go to these countries, I meet with them. We meet virtually most of the time. But if I travel around them, we are meeting, we are discussing with their customers over there. Lo and behold, this is not indicative of any double meaning. Some Indians came to Nigeria. They wanted to come to the company's headquarters in Nigeria. And they went to that company without my name. Somebody told me and I just smiled and I kept quiet. They went to that company and the company said, have you spoken with Shayo Bishop that you are coming, because he did not inform us that you are coming. They said, no, because of visa, they have to do this. They have to come and they have to come. They have just 2 days to spend in Nigeria. They have to go. And said, sorry, there's a governance structure here. Go and meet him. Go and tell him that he needs to come with you for us to attend to you. And so they came and met me. I was in the other. I said, how dare you do that? Why are you violating a corporate structure, a governance structure? Anyway, we went there and it was successful. And because of those activities, the director of that organization said, I'm going for customer forum in New York. Can you arrange me to meet with the US president? I said, I don't have the power, but I can talk to my seniors in Europe and talk to their seniors in US. And we did. The person met that US president and called me from here. I said, I'm just meeting the president. I'm just meeting because of what? We have succession. It started from succession planning. My leadership skill was developed. I got me exposed to so many people all over the world, and I can fulfill the request from Nigeria to meet with the US president. I could have gone, no, but there was little time to process my visa then, because I was also traveling and I need to draw my passport at the US Embassy to go. I couldn't make that trip, but I made all that. But that's what I'm saying. I hope this has helped in providing further insight into this.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Bashiru Okino, please, your hands.
Okay.
They have been raising his hand for so long. I'm glad that
Yes.
you recognize him.
If you can hear me, good,
Yes, we can hear you, please.
good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Let me thank, first of all, thank the management of CeProd for giving us this opportunity. And to our speaker, Dr. Sheyi Obiseso,
Thank you, sir.
I'm one of those that are really benefited from your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
In Nigeria context, when it comes to leadership, it's as if we are neither here nor there. What am I saying? Before now, we are told that the regional government was far better than what we have at the moment. Then,
Yes, sir.
why they move from that parliamentary system to the presidential system? Now, people are clamoring that we should go back to where we are coming from. So, along the line, when I was much younger, we were told then that there's a time we are told that education for all, food for all, house for all by year 2000. In fact, we can't wait to get to that year 2000. We thought all those things will come and as planned. But here we are, 2026. We know what it means for an ordinary man to see food now. Housing is a problem. Education, we are talking of how many millions of out-of-school children. So, on that note, what is the best form of leadership good for Nigeria? That is one. Secondly, we have a system leader that tell you that you should manage 1 square meal. And this set of people, they don't even have they can eat up to how many numbers of, and even they throw a waste food. They will tell you that no, you cannot, you cannot park your car and use the public, engage public transport system. This set of people buy aircraft and the rest that in fact, even they are for families and friends. And this is being carried out by using public funds. And they were telling you to pass in your bed. It is on that I ask, investment in leadership or investment in followership, which one comes first? Then my third and last question, Mr. Dr. Shei Obiseso, thank you. My last question now is, how for an organization that doesn't reward hard work, how do you expect an employee in such an organization to cope? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I really, really appreciate your background details. It actually expressed what you are thinking. And that is actually the way it is, unfortunately. In human resources, there's what is called compensation and reward. This is a function of human resources unit or department or the human resources manager, as the case may be, reward and benefits, compensation. However, it's a function of leadership because it is what the leadership believes in that the human resource manager or unit will implement, and it affects everything. We actually talked about it in this presentation: employee morale, employee motivation, employee productivity. It affects them. I saw a video of the wife of a soldier complaining bitterly just about last week or so that what their husband takes home is not enough. And they are the ones that feel remorse because the man cannot drop enough money for them while he's at war that he can be killed. So they are not happy. And that's why I'm happy that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu increased the salary and remuneration of soldiers by as much as about 30 to 80%, depending on various considerations. Sir, any leader that does not reward his employees risk delinquency of that organization, risk corruption to be thriving, risk inefficiency, low productivity, risk people calling in sick regularly, because that's the reality. That is when people say, my take-home cannot take me home. And I dare say that sometimes this take-home cannot take them to the junction where they will take their bus. A lot of people are spending close between 50 and 60% of their monthly income on transportation, maybe to buy fuel, to fix cars, or to actually enter transportation. And it's a vicious cycle, which I don't like at all. If a man in Lagos, like now, or in Abuja, is earning maybe about, let's say, 300,000 naira per month, with that corruption, sir, can that person live in Lagos mainland, in Lagos? Or can that person live in the suburbs in Abuja that is close to the main town? Can that person ever think of living in CBD, Matama, and so on, or in VI? For instance, in Lagos, some people are earning like about 300,000 naira. Don't forget that the minimum wage is 75,000. And because of the high cost of accommodation, they live far, far away from their offices. The longer they live, the more they spend on transportation. And the higher the possibility of falling sick regularly. So, sir, any employee that does not get rewarded will be involved in corruption. And that is why they always say that policemen are corrupt. You need to know how much these people are earning. You need to know how professors in the universities are earning. When local government chairman and honorables are earning, and that reminds me, sir, please let me quickly welcome somebody, the chairman of the Kosovo local government, Honorable Ogulaya. If you are here, apologies, welcome. I once went to have a meeting with a local government, sir, chairman, sir. And this local government, we were talking about carrying community road and said, and the man brought down, it's an elderly man. The man brought down his budget analysis. And he said, sir, about 50-60% of my budget goes to payment of salary pensioners. And I took that approach because he doesn't want the pensioner to die of hunger. I applauded him, but he said they barely, and then other considerations, they barely have 10% for projects. What would I do? And again, that's why I would commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because the man, I mean, I'm sorry, this is off record, but the man confessed to me that when the local government is coming from the Ministry of Finance, from the FG, it goes to the state governor. The state government cuts as they like, they release the rest for them. And there are some other considerations. So we have 10% for projects. So, sir, this project, we support it. We will provide the workforce, but you have to provide the fund. Can you explain that? And there's one case that I have that really, really touched me. Touched me. There's one woman I know, and I said, it really, really touched me. There's one woman that I know, sir. She works with the Nigerian police in the education system, giving her best to the education. My chairman, do you know what I mean? When a teacher is given 20 years of service, building the educational capabilities of Nigerian students, because they are not only students of policemen that goes there, they take from everywhere. And the husband is an Air Force person, and the husband died, and I went to pay my condolence. This man was just crying. I was like, madam, please, take it easy. He said, what is paining her most was that they have 3 months to leave that apartment because the husband is the one that has the house. Air Force in Ikeja there, I can say it loud and clear. They asked them to leave, and they don't have their own house yet. They are still building. And the husband is there. They can't get the pension on time. And how much is she earning in the Nigerian Police Force education? I left that place with a lot of sadness. So why would corruption not happen? I have another experience. I was in an organization some years ago, and my manager's manager came down to Nigeria. He's based in Dubai. And he called me and said, look, Chair, these are my key performance indicators for me, but I want you to take it as yours. How can I help you? And I said, okay, I need you to follow me to this place, follow me. And then when we got there, he understood and was wise. So we have this potential. I said, okay, you know what? Within the next 3 months, that's when I need to turn off this result. If you can do it, I will give you all the expense trip to Dubai, you and your wife. I will pay for your ticket, flight ticket. I will pay for your accommodation, and I'll still give you $5,000 expenses, not from the company, from his own personal pocket. Motivation and reward. Of course, I never get that because it happened after 3 months, but he said the timeline has passed. But I've given that opportunity to my wife to go to Dubai. I had to pay from my own pocket thereafter, but everybody was happy. But the man did something. He helped me to get the job as a country manager for West Africa in another place. Not that he helped me, he recommended me. At the end of it, I was taken. So if a manager or leadership does not have confidence in their team and does not reward them adequately, because reward helps. Let me give another example. Nigerian footballers, they will come to Nigeria, play for Nigeria, they will play at the lowest level. But they will go back to their club. The last World Cup it happened. A lot of these stars didn't play well at the World Cup. Let them go back to that club. You see, they will commit everything, even they don't mind to have a jury, but they know that the clubs will take care of them. And when they are injured permanently, they will compensate them. But the country, they will just give them stipends. Even their wife will want them, please don't kill yourself for this country. And the one that will suffer are the children. So that is it. So compensation is key at the supporter side. Thank you, sir.
Time is not on our side. So please, let's be mindful of that, people that want to contribute. Doctor, I have two questions there for you. The first one is, how is corruption a weakness of an organization? And how
Sorry,
can
madam. Sorry, madam.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
before you raise the question, I got an indication from Dr. Yunusa, the head of the SDG in the presidency. I just want to crave your indulgence. I'm sure I may not have time. He might have left, but I want to ask if he's still there, if he has any question to ask before he leaves.
All right. We will appreciate that, sir.
Dr. Yunusa, are you there, sir? Are you speaking on mute? Hello, Dr. Yunusa. Okay, let's go ahead. If he has a question, he should ask, or he can type it. And I can take it. Go on, ma.
So how is corruption a weakness of an organization? And how can we turn these weaknesses into strengths?
Very good question. Whoever asked that question, he asked a very good question. I can talk about this for endlessly, but I will just take about 2-3 minutes to talk about, because of if an organization is bewildered with corruption and is not targeted and fixed and uprooted, that organization has a timeline for delinquency. It's given, it's a fact, because an organization that is corrupt, the employee will be pilfering products of the organization. If it's a service-oriented organization, they can begin to work for the customers at cheaper pricing. Let me give an example. Most of these car companies that you see, Toyota, Honda, and all that, and their dealers, they have a lot of their employees. When customers bring cars for servicing for repairs, for instance, you can say, this will cost you about 1.2 million naira. And if the customer say, I assume, they say, okay, I can come to your house and do it for job by this part 400, can give me 200,000 for service. Say it's too much, so I will take 100,000 naira, 400,000. When you're ready, let me know. If I can come tomorrow, the person will not come to work. He will say he's sick. So how do you expect such an organization to have decreased revenue, for increased remuneration for staff, for increased productivity, and then to even talk of prosperity? A lot of government workers were forced to engage in corruption act because their salary is just there. You cannot take them home. So once this is fixed and everybody is satisfied with what they are earning, and they don't know to go out of their way to make extra money on companies' revenue, then the company will grow and everybody will be happy. Thank you, sir. Because of time, let me stop here.
Thank you very much, sir. We have the other one that talked about the role of job rotation in building a good team. What is the role of job rotation in building a team that may guarantee succession planning?
I actually saw that, and I was hoping that we will get to address that. Do you know why that is important? Every organization needs this response. Every organization has this problem, and they need to get a solution. And I will attempt, because not one size fits all. You see, rotational work schedule does so much. It's not part of my paper, but it's implied somewhere that I can go back and show you, but I don't have control. So let's just leave that because of time. When employees are used maximally, when their capabilities are maximal, they are used by training, by coaching, by mentoring, and all that, they'll become very capable, very, very skilled and experienced. If you look at multinationals, in those days, in the years gone by, even till today, they take management trainees. Is that correct? all these multinational companies like Nestle, like Nigeria Breweries, Guinness, they will take people from all backgrounds and then they will do 6 month training for them. A lot of organizations do it, even banks do it. They will take people from various background and they will give them 3 months training before they start work. The whole idea is to equip them with everything happening in that organization so that wherever you go, they will still train you on the job, but you have an idea of what's going on. So that anybody that leaves an organization, somebody else is replacing them. Somebody who has worked in sales today or customer service can go to the factory to also go and work, can go to audit, can go to finance, can go to any other place. He can even go and work outside the headquarters and work in a branch to understand how the company runs. And when all this happens, and you do this over 2-3 years, you find that you are ready to go to any role. And that's why most of these multinational in Nigeria, a lot of them came in as management training, but they have gone through all the departments and units over 10, 15 years, and they are capable of leading because they know what is going on in each of the departments. So whoever is there, they have been there before you. They left that place for that place to become MD. So you cannot hoodwink them. You cannot blindfold them. They know what is happening. I'll give you an example that you can relate to it. Somebody who has been in classroom, who has been in quality assurance, who has been in inspection, who has been in counseling over the past 12 years, and you now become inspector. Can anybody hoodwink you? It's not possible. So that's the way it is. So somebody has been in logistics, has been in the farm, looking at how they produce raw materials and become MD or GM. Can anybody from that farm hoodwink him or branches hoodwink him? So it's good. That's rotation on one side. On the other side, there's another type of rotation, which is, okay, you work, you have a pool of 10 people, and then, you now go within your unit. You now begin to rotate. This week, for 2 weeks, you stay in this unit. In the same department, you go and stay in this unit. And then over time, you build capabilities so much so that when it is Christmas, New Year break, everybody will not be in the office. You can just agree, let 2 people stay in the office and manage all the business on behalf of everybody for 3 days. Let these 2 people come, manage for everybody until the holiday subsides, equates, liquidates. And rotation helps to improve understanding, capability. It helps to improve motivation because specialization sometimes can lead to monotony and boredom. Doing same thing over and over and over and over again. If somebody has been working in factory, packaging products, he has to go to sales. Now, using his factory experience to go and meet people, their customer, he'll be able to use the factory experience to explain the quality of their product. Or in customer service, and somebody say your product is faulty, you say, no, I was working in factory, and this is our process. Our process is ISO standard. So it cannot be. Maybe let's look at the chain. When you left our office to your office, where you store it, or whether there's different going on, and people are saying you will throw out the bad ones and they'll benefit. So these are the considerations, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, please, because of time, I will just ask Mr. Michael Okunu to briefly make his contribution or ask his question. Mr. Michael Okumu.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
Good
I hope
afternoon,
I'm
sir.
clear. Thank you very much for the presentation. Doctor, I am Dr. Michael Okumu.
Thank
I
you very
just
much.
wanted
Welcome.
to, yes, thank you. I just wanted to ask 1 or 2 questions. I'm attending from Uganda, Kampala. And
Thank you, sir.
the first
You're
question
welcome.
yes, from Kampala.
Yes, sir.
The first question that I would like to put across is, Uganda as a country, we lose a lot of money, billions and billions of shillings annually to systematic bottleneck like bureaucratic red tapes and corruption, which you have talked about. And
Yes,
these
sir.
stifle enterprise productivity. Now, as
Yes.
leaders, when we benefit from your training, as leaders, what specific enforceable framework can we really implement right now to shift our economy from what we have majorly as raw materials to localized value addition, which our president normally preach about, thereby unlocking our actual potentials? Thank you. I think the second
Thank you.
question, because of time, I will not be able to put it
No,
across.
you can
Thank you.
ask it, you can paraphrase, and I can paraphrase the answer too. We use the same frequency, sir. And
Yes.
okay,
The
sir.
second question?
Yes,
Yes,
please, sir.
please. I have just two questions. The other one is we with over 70% of Ugandan engagement in the highly is normally highly fragmented with the low productivity, and we are mostly in the informal sector.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
how can leaders design an inclusive transition strategy that can formalize and upskill this workforce? Especially the youth. We are 70% of Ugandans are youth without destroying their their current means of survival. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will take the second question first, because I know that one really means a lot to you. And it should mean a lot to a lot of us who are managing companies, who are team leads. Sir, um, you may not have, leaders need to be trained to be exposed to new things. Leaders can know so much, but there are new things coming on. You may not know everything. And so you need to rely on other people who are skilled. You need to search your workforce and be able to actually bring the best team, irrespective of seniority. Irrespective of seniority, because there are some Gen Z who are just unusually talented. And then based on, and you know, a lot of our people now are all over the world working. Some people just want to come home and work. And then those people have experience at global levels. Some school over there and they have seen how things work. Some have worked in global organizations locally in Uganda, sir. Uganda, if you look at where I work, you will know that Uganda is one place that we visit. I understand how things are there, the status quo as it is. The first thing to do is to actually decide that this is where you want to go, which is what we call visioning. But there's something even before visioning, which is called envisioning. Envisioning is when you as a leader say, why can't we do this? Why can't we have things this way? On your own, you're having that internal conversation, personal conversation. I wish, maybe for instance, we can build, let me say, a battery that 1 million people can use in a year that can provide functions or services for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sectors in this product level. You will look at that. And then maybe if you have this profit margin of maybe 35%, you want to do volume or you want to do premium pricing, you want to be able to set number, and then you'll be able to make this money by quarter per revenue, so that when you are reporting to the board of directors, you can give a positive report, right, sir? Is that correct? You are having envision, you can call few people that you trust who will not shut down your idea and discuss this. And then you now say, okay, let's go to the visioning process. You now call your team and say, I want to do this. How can we do this? Which ideas can you talk about there? And that is where you now come to the idea generation, which is a subset of visioning. And then you now say, oh, okay, just categorize them. This can work. These are do a SWOT analysis of each one of them, categorize them and say, okay, where do we go from there? What are the resources that I need? What are the people skills that I need? Do I have them in my team? Do I need to hire? What is the cost of hiring? Do I do contract? Do I do full time? You take all those things, you analyze it. Then you can even invite a consultant like us, like me, You have them all over and say, please, this is what we think. This is our plan. Can you come and discuss this with us? First of all, tell us what is possible. This is what we can do. Where are the gaps? By the time you fine-tune all this over time, then you do a pilot test. You do a pilot test. You don't just do. I just remember something. There's a bank in Nigeria. We advised them. So you will know this bank. We have advised them to do pilot test. The pilot, they said, no, we are skilled, you know us now. No, we are good though, and they are good truly. They said, don't worry, we do the pilot test. They did have as a pilot. And we said, don't roll law at work, don't do big bang, do batchy, roll in batchy, implement this product, switch, implement other product, switch, do at the headquarters, then bring in 10 branches, bring in 20 branches. I said, no, we are who we are. And then they launched big time saying they. So when that thing happened, people came to meet me in my office. I rushed there for 3 days, and then big customers are just withdrawing. They panic. After talk, they roll back. And I went to meet the director. Why did you roll back? He said, do you want them to sack me? Well, we advise you. We said, don't worry, it's okay. So that is it, sir. That is it, just for that. Now for the second question, can you please paraphrase that question, because I was listening and then I will listen to the second one. Just paraphrase and let me have it clear, have the core question, sir. Mr. Okomi. Mr. Okomi, sorry.
You mean
First question, sir.
the second question?
No, the first one. I've answered the second
first one.
Mhm.
Okay, I was saying that we have really serious issues of corruption in this country.
Okay, I remember now.
But
That's correct.
the systematic bottleneck, like bureaucratic red tapes, the bureaucracy here is too much that may even stifle enterprise productivity. So as leaders, because we are talking about leadership,
Yes, sir.
what specific enforceable framework can we really implement right now to shift our economy
Okay,
from
sir.
majorly what we have as raw material exports to localized validation? Because we normally have this preaching from our president that we need to do validation or whatever we do in our products before we can really export them. And thereby,
Okay.
this may be unlocking our prosperity.
Okay, sir. Sir, I'll be very frank here. I understand Uganda as a country and Uganda as a people. My few visits there has shown me the challenges that you are talking about here. If you have not mentioned it, I will have raised it in my answer. And I'm glad that you have raised that question yourself, those challenges that you have. Part of what I will advise straight on is that you can't do this alone, sir, and you have to seek for help. This is one of them that you are going through. Now, I will tell you for free, sir. If you look at neighborhood countries around you, Tanzania, if you look at Rwanda, if you go to East Africa too, part of the extension of East Africa, you look at Kenya, you will see that they have been able to substantially be able to break through these barriers. My recommendation, would be, it's not a suggestion, sir, it's a recommendation. My recommendation would be, look at how these countries, they used to face the same challenges years ago. Kenya, Rwanda especially, Botswana, they used to face it, right? And Tanzania too. I don't know how, the current level that they are, but from my experience in recent years, they are not doing too badly. They are doing for broke. Maybe you need to undertake a tourist visit to those countries.
Yes.
When you undertake a tour visit to those countries, you go to those specific agencies that are important to you, like 2 or 3, maybe about 5 days or 3 days, depending on your budget, and you learn from them firsthand. Sir, there are countries that come to Nigeria to do tour studies on issues, and they range from Ghana, they range to Liberia, Sierra Leone, even Gambia. In Gambia today, all the major parastatals are in Gambia are run by Nigerians. They are, and it's been like that for like a decade. So they are skipping the learning curve. because they are seeing, people have seen it, who have experienced it, to come and show them the way and be part of the implementation team. That's what I'm suggesting too about Rwanda, Kenya.
Yes.
South Africa is not the same profile because their own
in your
elements is different
presentation,
from ours.
Rwanda is really ahead.
Exactly. South Africa is a different profile. You can come to Nigeria
Mm,
and we can facilitate this. Then
mm,
that is one. That will help you a lot. I haven't learned that, sir. You can now look at, okay, from what we are like, where are the gaps? Then what are the best ideas? Again, we go back to the basic, where we were coming from. This is what we want to do. We've learned this is the way to do it. How can we do it? And then you reach out, of course, you have the contacts of those people who can serve as optional members, advisors, advisory services in your community. You can take people like us as consultants to also come and be part of this advisory services. It can be done. They can start off with remote consultation, advisory services, and then we can come there later and hold that. And then we will look at the gap, and then we'll scale out a blueprint for you. Look at activities in phases. What needs to be done now? A must-have. Low-hanging fruits. What is most important to you? What is success to you? This, A, B, C. What is important to you? Hey, how long do you want it? In 3 months. So what do we need to do in 3 months? What are the resources that we need to have to achieve? We will look at all that, the details, the overview, the details, timeline. We build a project plan, the sequencing, the dependencies are. And then we do that. Then phase 2, phase 3, then what are the nice to have? Then how do you communicate this to the people that they will, to your leadership, that they will support you? Because you will need top-down support and motivation when you are in the trenches. I don't expect that everybody will support you, sir. You still have to go out and reach out to those people, sell the idea to them, sell the concept, show them where you are going, show them where you are, show them the roadmap, and where you also need them. Because you also need supporters that will be preaching that gospel in every sphere of your stakeholders community. And when you do that, you have started somewhere. But the immediate thing that you can do is to take a decision, sir. Call a meeting, sir, and say, we have thought of this. You are involved in a lecture at CeProd, and this and made you think about this, and you want us to start thinking about this. That way, you will bring everybody to the table. You might even find out that what you have in mind to do can even be slightly altered to achieve greater effectiveness and efficiency and productivity. That's what I think, sir. But we can continue these conversations later. We can continue just because of time. We can
Thank you very much.
Later.
Thank you very much, sir. It has been an engaging session and great value for our time. As we are preparing to close, please kindly permit me to bring on board my Director General, Dr. Chris Egbu, FCP. Dr. Chris, please come and give us your father's wisdom. Share so that we can use that one to close. Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot. We really appreciate Seye Obisoson for the wonderful lecture. We also appreciate the chairperson, Maria Carol Wynn, for your wonderful presentation. Maria Carol Wynn, for your wonderful presentation. So we wish to have both of you again, maybe sometime next year, for presentation. So before we finally close, let's give 1 minute each to our council members to make a short remark. First of all, our Dr. Joshua Adewale, the chairman of membership committee, just 1 minute. You are muted. You are muted, Dr. Joshua Adewale. You are muted. Okay, while you are trying to unmute, Dr. Soles Akande, can you, if you are here, make your remark? Is Dr.
Hello.
Yeah, go
Hello.
ahead.
Yeah. First of all, let me thank Sheye Obiseson
Thank you,
for
sir.
a very lucid talk through. I think you have said all that needs to be said, and the take back for everyone here is to really go back, make a research between the difference between leadership and management, and then juxtapose that into what we have all learned here. And I think that will really give everybody a very practical approach to how we can enhance productivity in our respective spaces. So once again, I really want to thank you. You have done a very good work here. And I think everyone on this call has really learned a lot. Thank you, and do have a blessed
Thank you. We also
Thank you
give
very much, sir.
another
I
council
appreciate it.
member, Professor Miriam Abudu, just for a little remark.
Okay. Thank you, DG. Mr. Shea, thank you for your wonderful presentation. It has been very thorough, really, very engaging, very enlightening, very educational. We hope to see more of you, and we will take everything you've said to the bank. So once again, congratulations, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Please, I would like to find out, sir. I heard you say that you will take it to the bank. I just want to know, ma. Which type of bank are you taking it? Is it microfinance bank? Is it commercial
The
bank?
knowledge bank. The
Or
knowledge.
is it mortgage bank? Or is it Central Bank of Nigeria, ma?
Okay,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Adewale, Dr. Adewale, can you are you able to speak now? Can you unmute?
You are hearing me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you, sir.
Yes.
All the participants, both invited council members and all. It's been a very thought-provoking lecture and practically presented in a way that it can be programmed and be used. So I want to thank you, Dr. Bisheson, and our able chairman. God bless you. Thank you.
And
sir.
lastly, our council member, Deola Ole, can you give us a remark?
Thank you very much, Dr. Chris. I want to say that this is
Dr. This, Professor This.
This is more than a lecture. It's actually a development that everybody should be part of it. I'm very happy I didn't miss this one, and I want to say kudos to you, Dr. Sheye, for this wonderful thought-provoking lecture, and we hope to see more of you, sir. And I want to say more grace to your elbow. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Okay, so on this note, we say bye-bye to all and thank you. Wish to see you again next month. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you
Thank
to
you,
everybody.
and God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate CeProd.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
God bless you all.
You have added value to our lives.
Thank you,
thanks a
ma.
lot.
And I
Thanks.
can say the same about you. What a wonderful introduction.
Yes, very. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Dr. Obibeson, you are wonderful.
Thank
We'll
you,
talk
sir.
later.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
This
All right, sir.
is
All right, sir.
Doctor, somebody asked for your